So, John, it's your first play of the game. What do you think of it?
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts.
So, the things I really like about it are the way the dice work, obviously. I mean, that's the biggest gimmick of the game.
Right.
The way you pay for the pips and have the reveal.
Yeah, your workers are as strong as you want them to be.
Yeah, and that's really cool.
Right.
I also really enjoy how you could completely shoot yourself in the foot in this game. Like, there's no hand-holding. I mean, the loans keep you in the game, but, I mean, obviously, you lose a lot of points if you're not careful.
Yep.
That I really like, and I like the tension of where you're putting your workers. I think the spots themselves are kind of boring. They're just pretty basic.
Right, yes.
Which is also fine. I think what I wasn't thrilled about was, I think it's one round too long. Like, it felt like by round 4, the game was over. To me, it seemed that way.
But it wasn't. In hindsight.
Yeah, I made a quick comeback right
But
there.
even if there was another round after that, you could also say there's more potential for comeback.
Fair,
I just felt like it was one round too long.
That's fair.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy. And it's not. You played really well, but it wasn't fun watching. Like, then I do this, and then I do that, and then I get that, and then this happens.
No,
downtime.
And that has a lot of potential in games like this. Couple that with, I also don't love engine builders that much. So, but it's certainly a really fun game. I would recommend it to someone who says, I want a worker placement game that does something different. And this definitely nails that. But yeah, I mean, it's fun.
Okay.
A lot of my problems with the game are similar to yours. Every time Edward says, we all love it here at Heavy Cardboard, I want to put an asterisk next to it and be like, except for Greg.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
I've never really been a big fan of this, and while the group again collectively everyone's like, we love this game. I sit there and I go, I kind of hate it.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
Wow.
You've played it like 6 times.
I think it's because people love it so much that it is why I want to tend towards the hate. But I'm like, no,
why?
I don't hate it. I just
to be contrarian?
No, I just don't like it, is what I'm saying. On a base level. It's just like, it's fine. And the reason why I have 6 plays is because I don't really actually hate it. If someone really wants to play it, again, people love it in this group, I'll play.
So, but why? Like, why do you not like it? Let's hear. Okay.
So I like engine builders. I don't really know if I would put this in the same category as that. My big stickler is like this action and this action, some rounds, can feel like duds.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And this is the same thing I had the issue with Windmill Valley. I liked the theme. If the theme is, these are the inventors and these are the inventions, I would like that to be the most interesting part of the game. And oftentimes it feels arbitrary. Whatever's out there is out there, and that's what you kind of just deal with.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't... The theme super is there, but it also just... It feels like there could have been something more with the theme. But, like you said, most of the actions are boring. They're just do a thing, collect a thing. And the race is to get there first, I guess. But once we've revealed our dice, you can kind of go, oh, well, I know where that's going to end up. There's no way I can...
Oh, do you?
I was going to say, that last thing I totally can see everything that you said until that very last thing.
Yeah.
Because to me, at
There's
least...
some planning.
That's the most fun part.
Can I outweight you?
Yeah. A little bit of
Or
chicken.
do I need to go there early, or can I stall to see if you're going to
That's the
use
best part.
that? Yeah.
Sure.
That brinksmanship.
Or
Yeah.
even
That's
placement.
not-
Oof, that was good.
The first time you have like... What I'm saying is if you don't have the capital towards the end of the game to afford a lot of heavy dice, sure, I have one thing that's going to make sure I get a spot, but I don't have enough capital to cover all the things that I need to cover. I can see that Edward, though, who is winning, he's got 3 5s. I might have a 6, but then that's it.
My counter to that is A, plan better and play better to where you have more liquidity, or B, take an extra loan if it's that important to you. Kind of like an Age of Steam.
Yeah.
You don't want to go. You really need that loco.
Yeah, take a share.
You take an extra share.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's how important is it to you right now?
Right.
And so to me, just on the counterpoint, like the these being duds sometimes, totally.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
all of these
And
the
synergy
individual
also.
actions are fine. And the synergy is it feels like, why am I even bothering for the 4 point? Like, so I totally get that, 100%. However, the aspect of this game that makes it sing for me is the fact that you can set your workers to any value you want. And then it becomes okay, I know that I think that's going to work, so that's going to be important to you. So is it important for me? Do I need to go there early? Can I wait? Can I risk having lower pip values? And then, so the core of the game, like a lot of people say in Age of Steam, the game is the auction.
Yeah.
And so here, the game, if you're going to
blind bid, yeah.
if you're going to boil Age of Steam down like that, you could say the same is choosing your strength of workers and then trying to figure out the puzzle of the order in which, and that brinksmanship. And to me, that makes everything work enough that carries the game well enough for me. But the rest of what you said, I totally can see.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I also this part with the asymmetric thing where we all
Going up, it
That-
feels like almost a gimme. You're going to do it.
Not even a gimme.
Sorry,
I'm just kidding.
sorry.
Not a gimme so much as a, like of course I'm gonna get 3 Bank of England things by the end of the game.
Well, maybe no.
Well,
Everybody
no,
else only
I
had two.
almost never do.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
so, but yeah.
Of course, 2 sure, but like 3 sure. I'll spend that extra action to get a third
Right.
one, for 7 more points.
Well, it's
But-
only 3 more points though.
for 7 points total, rather.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, it's
Well,
only
I could have got that or that in that last turn, but that was more because it's only 3 more points.
right. And then that's what I mean. Is like you might focus on this and then be like, that's just 7 points.
Yeah. In the scheme of things, whereas getting patents and hiring employees is
really what-
Yeah, you had one
considerably
turn
more.
as being the 22 or something, like right off the rip, right?
It was. No, Derek
Oh, it
got
was Derek, okay.
19 points. Yeah.
And 20 and 26.
Right, and then
Yeah.
and what was mine worth the first one?
Well, mine was
8.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Two.
theoretically, they're balanced from a power.
Right, cost.
Opportunity cost, the whole
Right.
nine yards.
I did deplete everything I had in the first 2 rounds, and had no money. So I was basically like, I'm pushing myself as far. So this game, because I do play it a good amount, you can use different ways to play it, right? So it seems like you would always do the same thing when you play, but as you play it more and more, you tend to follow different avenues based on what other people are doing because it's so dependent on other players. Like when you do spend that money on that dice, you're like, I know I want this one thing because I'm taking a 6. Or I don't want this dice, I can just float away as a 3. So then everything out is negotiation because there's like that, like what he was saying, there's a game of chicken that's very important in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if I want to push, I'm going to put out that 1 or that 2. Or I'm going to hammer it and say, I'm just taking this. So there's like a poker aspect to this game that isn't in a lot
that
of Euro
brinksmanship. Yes.
games.
100%.
I will agree that is the most interesting part is that there is no 100% of the time you play this game, you are not going to do the same thing.
Oh, totally not. No.
Get like the
This
game
is the
getting-
most loans I've ever taken in this game ever.
But getting,
That's a lot.
I'm saying
I've never had 6 workers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out
really?
of 20 times playing this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I've never seen everybody have all their workers.
I've never
That was
seen
crazy.
everybody have
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
workers.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, if you're gonna have 6 workers, you're gonna have 6 workers. I'm gonna have 6 workers.
And then I was like, I hate having all these workers, and I'm like, let's get rid of them.
Which I should have done. I should have taken it for, but I would have lost anyway. It was a big gap. No, I mean, It's fine.
No, and that's fine. And
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
cool.
trying to sell you guys on
Yeah,
it. You
not
like
at all.
what you like, you don't, you don't. To me, and Shrey basically echoes what y'all are saying, that I think there's a really good game with an amazing hook, or it's a good game with an amazing hook, but I'm lukewarm about some aspects of it and how it can feel. Because, yeah, I'll be honest. When I'm like chaining, boom, 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 and like it didn't feel good, like because I could feel the hate.
Well, every time
On
you're
the
like,
other
and I
side.
get 5 light bulbs.
I know, like I get it. Now, why did that happen?
Well, yeah,
I don't
is that
know.
us or is that the game?
Well,
right?
well, there is some of the things where we could have taken away some of those characters that would have been important, and we could have utilized those.
Yes.
I saw a couple of those characters when they came out because I've played so many times. Say that's a super.
I wasn't gonna be able
that
to see
dude's
that,
super
yeah.
strong, and he's gonna take
And
advantage
well,
of
it's
him.
not. But they're also.
They have a cost on them that
Correct,
we
and he had already
couldn't-
moved himself
like-
in a good position to not pay a lot for those type of characters. So
And I mean, it was a conscious choice. Like
got my own
with
ticket.
Adolfo, like I ended up paying almost $20 in expense for him.
for 6 points.
yeah.
Yeah, so it probably wasn't, but it did. Well, also,
Okay,
what
all
it
that other
did
stuff.
is it got me the other stuff, and it got me some tempo.
He has like 20 points
Yeah.
versus our 6.
Yeah. So it gave, so there's a offset. Now, I've never done this. I've never raced up the. Normally, I'm like in this
Down there, yeah.
world, but I was like, oh, I see an opportunity. Let me try it. And so it's a being. It's a pretty tactical game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And as well as I have experience playing the game. I've played this a lot. So some of it was, I think I played pretty well. Some of it was opportunity. And then some of it, kind of like what Greg said about Windmill Valley last night, it didn't feel great that like things just fell to me
Right, yeah.
because y'all were going in different directions, and I was like, "Oh, here, let me
Everyone's like,
just
boom, 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 boom.
yeah,
Derek, what do you want? A gear? Good.
right,
Next.
yeah, right, yeah." So there is some of that.
The hilarity between your income and Derek's
That one turn was
no, not one turn.
it was yeah.
Yeah,
Because I had
Or-
nothing. I literally had nothing here
Yeah.
for the longest. But in fairness, I was scoring a lot of points, and I was spending all of my energy on scoring
Right.
heavy
And-
cards early because I see that what was out was saying, hey, you need to go up there and do that thing. And that's how the modularness and variability. And you know what? I have had a lot of people that I've spoken to at Gen Con that do like this game that have come up to me that have said, I house ruled the synergies out.
Yeah, because it's 4 points, and it feels like a lot of work
And
to
it doesn't-
try and
and
make
it-
that
and it
work.
doesn't happen.
And it's just
Well, I got
It's
8
lucky.
points from them.
It
today.
is a lucky
sure,
So,
sure.
You
It
made 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
got 8, I got 4.
But ultimately, last thing I'll say though, I will say if someone ever says I want a worker placement game that uses dice in an interesting way, it's now going to be this, Panamax, and Teotihuacan.
you forgot the arguably the best of all of them,
Which one?
Madeira.
I haven't played Madeira.
And see,
So-
we need to remedy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I mean, I think is it there's like a game about illusionists that use the dice
the
values?
Magnificent.
Mag-
They
Magnificent.
were talking about it. In
Oh
the
yeah.
chat,
That one actually has, but it's not as. That one is much more of a resource management game, and this is more of it's more. We're worried about what each other's doing a lot more in this
Yeah.
game, I would think.
Yeah.
I won't-
Teotihuacan's kind of rides that line of, yes, it's a resource management, but yes, also I'm worried about the dice that are.
Yeah,
Right,
dice
yeah.
And I'm
are-
worried about everybody going around,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
I would say a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Even though it's very different.
Um,
And apples, I mean, if we're gonna
oranges and lemons.
If we're gonna
yeah.
go on to the
yeah,
fruit,
yeah. Right. Yeah.
then oranges and lemon. For me, a lot of the parts that I loved about oranges and lemons are parts about how you gain resources and how things get activated, and the way that the turn order happens in oranges and lemons is, I would say, equally as good as paying for your stuff by placing things, but you have more control in this game than you do in the other game, because even though you're placing things and you have control of where it's going, you still have to take those actions. Having the money gives you the control without having to say, I'm placing
Be
these in a
pigeonholed
certain-"
on this
Yes.
thing. And,
So
yeah.
I have to
Yep.
basically boot a whole round in oranges and lemons to get myself in a good position for that next turn. And
Right.
here I feel like With this game, I can put myself in a position where I'm doing a few things that I'm actually gaining a little bit of points and not feeling like I'm falling behind. And still having that same, but I have to say that game definitely has moved up on my list.
Oranges and lemons.
Every time I play it, I'm like, okay. Because the problem with Euros is I feel really great about 3 plays, and after the 3 plays, does it really still hold up?
Right.
And that's how it makes it in my top 50.
And for me, I enjoyed my plays of oranges and lemons, but the brinksmanship that this has with the way the workers apples and giraffes, right? They're totally different in the way, but this just hits better, and I like that you can effectively cut your own throat by taking too many loans and walking that line.
Yeah.
Really threading that needle. How many analogies can I make of going too far one way or the
that's
other?
What's neat. The game's not going to hold your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
If you didn't have that really great influx, you would have had a couple more loans and you would have been first.
Yeah, and so it's I still like this more. I've played this a ton more than I have oranges and lemons.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoy.
I love this at 5. I love this at 3.
Yeah,
I love this at 4.
scalability.
Yeah, 3 to 5. I like it at all. Just it's a longer game at 5.
Don't like it at 2.
I've never played it at 2.
One time at 2.
would not like this at 2.
I don't think this is.
It's kind of a little too mean.
This
at 2.
is not. I would never consider this at 2.
Yeah.
Three.
It might be great, but it's just not. No.
This is like one of my go-to 5s because it's like Princes of Florence. This game,
And now Oranges and
Medici,
Lemons.
Orange and Lemons. I mean, it's great that there's a Euro at 5 that actually feels good at 5.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I want to strangle everybody at this table because they're taking
Takes
too
too
long.
long.
Because I take my turns relatively quick when on stream. So if the other people aren't taking their turns, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to play another game with you. Even if it's this group, it's too much for me sometimes. I don't want to take too long on a game that I feel like we should move a little quicker.
And Stephen, there's some other points that were made that basically are echoing both sides of the table, like in not as much. And Stephen said, I think it's a big strength of the game that Edward and Derek played as different as they did and ended up close to each other.
Yeah, no people.
Yeah, he has no employees. I went harder into that than
You
I've
hired
ever
the whole
seen.
country.
Heavy four scoring during that section, which normally is little.
It's a little bit here or there, and it was massive.
It's like you get here's 5 points and maybe a special little thing.
What it
At
showed
most.
was utilizing character cards in a very smart
in a
way.
different way that I've never seen. And also, I do like. Some people are not going to like this as much. Some will. That Derek and I have played this quite a bit. Y'all haven't. First, second.
No, I still played quite a bit. I just not very good at it.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, fair enough. Fair
He
enough.
has played a lot.
So yeah, that's
No, that makes sense. If I had crushed you guys, that would have been weird.
Yeah,
Right, because-
like I said, I knew.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
congrats in coming in third.
But if you
But you weren't gonna win.
But
this.
that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Now.
But
Yeah.
you could have found synergy
Yeah.
that could have come out with cards because of varied abilities and
gone in a different
powers.
direction. Like you went crazy cheap and crazy high, right? On
See how
both.
it worked out.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was really
You
really
definitely
cool.
played it differently than I've seen for a
Yeah.
first-time player. You
Yep.
weren't afraid, which is important.
Oh,
in this game.
and last thing before we get out of here, the expansion. So it's a print and play expansion.
Yeah.
I really dislike it. Hard dislike it. It is
More
what
rectangles.
What it does is it changes the way newspapers work.
Yeah.
It is a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Which it's print and play again, so it's pieces of paper that you sleeve. But anyway, that you draw cards, and it gives you some sort of rule breaker.
Yes.
More drawing.
Yeah, so-
But not only is it more drawing,
Yeah.
it removes the flexibility of this,
Yeah.
and they are only situational.
You can still use them for money, but they have to do with the actions on your board. So if I had a newspaper and the newspaper dealt with British Museum, when I go to British Museum, I'll get
You
to
get
use,
a benefit, an extra
okay.
benefit, something like that.
So we played it 3 times. The only good part about it is you can use it for its value in newspaper as money.
Discard
Oh.
discard
As
the
money?
card as a money.
As
But
a
you're
one-
spending
yeah.
the newspapers because they're physically.
But you're not getting all this other stuff.
No,
Every-
it is on money.
Every card has 2 parts to it, and every card has 2 different actions. I mean, I don't have one in front of me, but it has 2 different places that you could use it. But the problem that you run into, and especially at the very beginning of the game, is you have no way of mixing that, I can just spend a little bit to do this, or I can do this little thing over here.
Conversion, right? Yeah, and it
So-
just it's too limiting,
Yeah.
and it removes some of the cleverness
Mm-hmm.
that you can. I mean, I don't see this necessarily as a crutch. I see this as a way
'cause you
to
can do
vary.
whatever at any time, right?
Right,
So,
and it allows you more,
Yeah.
more ingenuity, more originality in the way you want to play the game.
I think it came out during 2020, and it was during a time that everybody was at home, and they basically wanted to give something to somebody because the game had come out during 19, and I think there wasn't a lot of. My guess was there wasn't a lot of push behind the game because it came out at a time when basically people weren't really out
Yeah, 'cause
getting new
COVID,
things,
right,
right?
yeah.
And so they gave us that print and play, but I don't think that print and play had spent the dev time to be able to work as a really strong where they would actually have printed it and sold that to the public.
Yeah.
So it's
Sense.
something fun that gives you a little bit different way to play, and if you do play it a lot,
yeah, especially if you played a lot. Yeah.
then it is a different way to play, but it is a very different game with those newspapers.
I don't think it benefits the game.
Yeah.
I think it's a net negative on the game, so I just won't play with it again. That's me. So,
Yeah. I
all
don't
right,
think I'll-
cool. That is Crystal Palace for the 84th time, or what, third, fourth, whatever it is. Thanks to these guys
Until
for
next time.
coming down on a Sunday. I appreciate this. Thanks to all the patrons. Thanks to everybody that watched. If you enjoyed the stream, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And we are doing a Patreon drive, so you get benefits. You get the Slack channel, you get videos, extra bonus content being a patron. And honestly, it helps us improve the quality of the channel and keeps
Sure does.
things going. So certainly would appreciate it. Consider it patreon.com/HTHQ.
Martin's not here, so we would really appreciate your thumbs. He's traveling through Europe and he wants to see them go up, so give us your thumbs.
Give
Cool.
us your thumbs.
Appreciate it. I'm Edward.
I'm Derek.
John.
Greg.
Be back tomorrow with top 10. We'll see y'all later. Take care, y'all. Bye. Well, you made it this far. I think you liked the video. If you did, leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought about it. Certainly would appreciate it. More you're here, subscribe. Watch other videos. Patreon. All that fun stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. Seriously, leave a comment. I want to know.